Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Andrea. This video will be the part 4 for the Mad March Tarot hashtag created by Sara Russell for Instagram, and I decided to bring it on YouTube for anyone who wanted to watch and join. Okay, so we'll go straight to it. It's from day 21 of March to till 27. So the first day, the quote, it's, oh, I forgot to say, if you haven't seen the rest of the videos or you don't know the hashtag, which I kind of doubt, but anyway, it's based on Alice in Wonderland. So each day has a quote and also a question to do a draw. So the quote is, why sometimes I've believed in as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. The Queen of Hearts. And the question says, what can help me to overcome my fears and achieve what I currently perceive to be impossible? Really good question. So what I got was, I used, I don't know why, I started using only Rider-Waite, and then I got a few new decks and I wanted to try them, so I'm mixing a lot of the decks, basically 3 decks, which is the Rider-Waite, the Wildwood Tarot, and the Wisdom of Trees Oracle. So I got the World Tree, which is the world in Rider-Waite, the Five of Bows, Empowerment, which is the Five of Wands. Some of the cards in the Wildwood change the meaning, so it's also interesting to study it that way. Ash and Oak. So between all these cards, there's an emphasis in empowerment, in your own power, believing in your own power, feeling connected to everything, like the World Tree. I'm gonna just check. Yeah, because I wrote down a few interesting notes that I really liked. First one, the World Tree. It's about, for me, it's feeling connected to everything. Because we always forgot and feel disconnected and alone and without any option or power. And that's completely false, because if you find the connection with yourself, inside yourself, through that connection you remember and you can feel that you're connected to everything. So you are really never powerless, because the power is inside you, through yourself, connected to everything else. So remember that, first of all. Then the Five of Bows here, which is empowerment. I wrote down, it's not about the fact that you can or you can't get to your goal or destiny or whatever you want to achieve or manifest. It's not about if you're able or not. It's about if you decide that you are gonna make it, because the power is yours. It's in yourself. It's not about your circumstances or about if you have options or not. It's about believing you can manifest them and go for it. So it's facing your fears, and that gives you an empowerment that makes you forward, makes you move forward. Sorry. So it's your decision to act. And then again with the oak, of course, it's the king of the forest. It's about power and resistance or resilience. Resilience, yeah, I think. Don't underestimate your own abilities, and your own strength. And also the ash, it's trying to find a balance. It's trying to be realistic, looking at yourself, accepting every part of yourself, and finding that balance inside yourself. And through that balance, you can find also your power. So that will be, how can I overcome my fears? Just remember that I'm connected to everything, and feeling that, trusting my abilities, and feeling that I really have the power in myself to achieve whatever I want to achieve, and accepting all sides of myself, looking at them in a realistic way. Okay, so that would be the first day. Then we have day 22. Contrary-wise, it was so, it might be, and if it were so, it will be. But as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic. I hope I read it correctly, because the font, it's a little bit small in my phone. Sorry. Question, there's two questions. First one is, what am I doing that I shouldn't do? I remember this day, it was a long process with this reading. I don't remember why, but it took me like, I think the whole day actually, or at least the whole morning. So the first one is, oh, I lost it. Yep, I lost it. Day 22. Yes. So, what am I doing that I shouldn't? What am I doing that I shouldn't? And I got the 9 of Cups with the Wildwood, which is this one, and it talks about generosity, it's giving, and temperance. And I'm gonna read and show all for the second question, because for me it was really connecting the cards. And the other question is, what am I doing that I should do? And I got the Wheel, which is a Wheel of Fortune, and the 9 of Cups. So I got twice the same card, but it has different meanings. So what I shouldn't do that I'm doing. Here in the Wildwood, the 9 of Cups, it talks about generosity, about giving without a limit. That's very Piscean. I'm a triple Pisces, and I have a lot of water in my chart. I'm sure I already spoke about this in some other video. So that's kind of the typical Pisces thing to do. We're kind of very empathic and emotionally generous. So, I guess what I'm doing that I shouldn't do is also on, I forgot, on the Temperance card, I noticed, thinking about this, that the meaning of the 9 of Cups in the Wildwood, I was noticing in Temperance how it is pouring the water from one cup to another, almost like if the person is filling someone else's cup with their water, with their feelings, that generosity, that emotional generosity. So for me, it was talking about maybe giving too much and not taking care of my emotions, putting the boundaries to protect my emotions, or basically my needs, my emotional needs. And then the other question, what am I doing that I should do? So basically, what are you doing right? The Wheel and the Nine of Cups. This Nine of Cups for me, it's more, it's kind of protecting. It's someone that it has a lot and it's satisfied. It's really satisfied in their situation, in their abundance, emotional abundance. But the arms are crossed. So it's kind of protecting. It's a protecting kind of pose for me. The wheel are the changes, cycles, everything changes, and how you adapt to those changes, accepting the changes and probably the ends that come with the cycles, accepting, adapting, and realizing what you got, what you learn on every cycle and on every experience and with every ending and beginning. All that wheel turning and everything changing and some things finishing and another ones beginning, even when you feel that you lost something, when you realize that everything gives you something, you learn from it and it gives you whatever it is, you can feel that abundance. Maybe not material, but emotional abundance. And in contrast, maybe protecting it a little bit. It's the same card, it's completely opposite attitude and even the pose of the figure in the card, completely opposite. So being generous, it's great, it's okay. I mean, of course, I understand it because it's my nature, and that's fine. But when you give too much, you lose your balance, you lose what you also need for yourself. And here, it's protecting a little bit. So, next one. Day 23. There you are. Okay, the quote is, if everyone minded their own business, the world will go around a great deal faster than it does. That quote is fantastic. And the question is, how can I stay on my own path and not get distracted? This was very funny because when I was trying to do this draw, I got distracted with everything. And it took me also some time to get this done. So, yeah, I got here 5 of Swords. I did a great discovery and learning process with this card on this day. Then 3 of Arrows, which is the 3 of Swords in the Rider-Waite. Here it says Jealousy. Different twist for the card. And then Eucalyptus. So, this card, we usually see it or interpret it as conflict. Obviously, there's a winner and 2 losers that go away not really happy. One of them is really upset, sad, maybe even crying. And there's sometimes when you see this figure, it looks kind of, it has like a malice look in his face. So usually it's conflict, it's not a nice card, it's not a positive card. If you get stuck in that superficial way of read it. Then I'm also reading this book, which was a Brian Cormack Carr suggestion. And I decided to read the book to get another side, another interpretation, some more information about the card. And there it talks a little bit about being like a kind of like a movie. You can watch it as looking back on the process of discerning and dealing with maybe mental conflict, internal conflict. So when you're here, close to the water, those are emotions, and the emotions are overcoming you. They're more powerful. You cannot think, you cannot take decisions, you cannot see clear. Then this one will be like in the middle of the road. And here we have this one, which is the figure that has overcome the struggle with the emotions and has clarity and is actually, for me, these two swords are ideas that he decided are not good for him or he doesn't need. Then he has these two that are the two that he accepted or used it, or yeah, I need this is good, this is what I need, this is, I see clear now. And the other sword, in the other hand, it's not clear if he's letting it go or it's gonna take it with him, but it's deciding, it's discerning. He has the clarity. He's not clouded by the emotions anymore. And he's looking back and he's kind of realizing all the road he's gone and all the work he has achieved and the clarity he has achieved. It's actually it's a victory, but it's not a negative battle, it's not a negative victory. So for me, it was a new way to see this card. And I think for this question specifically, it really works well and it really helped me. So that's the interpretation that I went for with it. So it's looking behind, looking to the past, and be conscious of everything that I achieved in internal struggle with the emotions and the pain, and that can really cloud your mind. So you overcome that and you get really far in your path. And also discerning and choosing what ideas really help you, what you can take with you, and which ones you don't need anymore. Then this one for me, it's in that process, don't succumb to the pain, don't succumb to maybe jealousy, don't go back in this development, in this journey, don't go back. Don't go back to the pain. And this one, it's about the balance between water and air, between mind and heart emotions. So, yeah. How can I keep focused and not get distracted? Realize how far I've come, everything I've overcome. Don't go back. Don't get into this trap of the pain and thinking maybe about what I don't have, what others have. Now, every time I see this card, I think about that. All the pain that comes with maybe what you think you lost, what you don't have, what you see that others have, and that jealousy that can come with it. Don't give in to that. Just keep going, keep staying clear, and yeah, basically I think it's controlling your emotions, the negative side of emotions, of the pain, maybe. Okay, and now day 24. The quote is again from the Queen of Hearts. Off with her head. Easy one. And the question is, what needs to be sacrificed for my greater good? What head do I have to cut? of myself. Apparently I have more than one. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not gonna cut my head. Okay, so I got, yeah, 6 of arrows, which is transition, and the 4 of wands. And this one took me some time to understand, because 6 of arrows here, it's really close to the 6 of swords in the Rider-Waite, which is leaving something behind. It's a transition. It's going from somewhere to other place, from something to something new, leaving something behind, going to a safer, calmer place. And the 4 of wands, it's a good card. It's stability, it's security, it's a good base. So I wasn't really sure, and then I realized what I need to sacrifice. I always had this feeling that I had to leave something behind, overcome something, um, something that I felt I needed but I couldn't have, and I was maybe longing for it, and I always felt like I had to leave that behind. But it's hard to leave the feeling behind. It's supposed to take you to a better place. I think, I don't know how to explain this in English actually, but I'm trying my best. What I wrote down is the idea or feeling that I have to leave something behind, overcome something, forget something that I feel I need, that I desire. Leave it behind. Leave that desire or that dream or feeling behind to get to this victory, to this stability. When in reality, I don't need to leave anything behind. I'm already constructing my victory, my stability, my safe place. I'm already making it happen. I'm already manifesting. I don't need to sacrifice the love for something, the need for something. It should be what helps me to get here. I think I explained it now properly. So, next one. Day 25. Yeah, 25. It's a poor short of memory that only works backwards. The White Queen. Question. 2 questions. The first one. What advice will my present self give to my past self? Also interesting question. And I got the King of Bezos, which is the King of Cups in the Wildwood, and the Sweet Orange. Okay, so yeah, this one was quite profound. What will my present self tell to my past self? It's all about emotions and balance. And it wasn't easy for my past self. It's better now, it's much better now, but it wasn't easy a lot of the time, emotionally. So what I wrote down is, don't worry too much. Everything that you are living now, it's part of the process. And the motive and the final destination is the mastery. Sorry, again, I'm reading in Spanish, so sometimes my translation gets a little bit wonky. And I use that word without really knowing what it means. Sounds correct in that context. I don't know. Sorry. Um, yeah, like everything I felt, all the pain, all the difficult emotions, um, they they were what I needed to experience to evolve, to grow, and to comprehend, empathize, uh, basically to help other people, to get to the point that I'm now trying to help other people with tarot if they want. I believe that all the sensitive, empathic people that have hard times, it is for a reason. We don't see it, of course, we don't see it in that moment, but going through those emotions and those experiences help us grow ourselves, but also not only grow and evolve ourselves, but also then you have the understanding and the balance, the interior balance and the strength to recognize the pain in others and help them and maybe guide them a little bit through that. So, yeah, you cannot really tell your past self that everything will be fine. Well, I mean, it will be fine. But in that moment, that doesn't serve you at all. You are feeling that pain. You are going through those moments and that struggle. But if, for me, what I always felt it was important was to understand a little bit why. Why am I going through this? Why do I feel the way I feel? And I would just say that. I will tell her that. Um, yes, it's hard. Yes, it hurts. But it'll be over. It will be better in the future. And you will have learned and grow a lot. And you will be able to help others in their struggles. Next question. Yeah. Second question is, how can healing a past wound help my present self? And I got the Nine of Cups came like 3 times. So yeah, here it is. I got the ooh, I think it wasn't this one, it was the Wildwood. See, because I didn't wrote it down and I confused them. The Nine of Cups came a few times. So it was the Nine of Cups and Death. Accepting endings and changes and transformations in the past helps me recognize and value everything I had, I have, and I will have thanks to this experience. And also recognize and recognize everything that I have in every moment. Because changes are hard. And most of the time you feel like you lose something. And obviously with this card we're talking about changes that uh, take something away. Something has to end, something has to go for a new beginning. We always have and we fear these losses. But we need to remember that even through those losses and changes and endings and new beginnings, you always gain something. You always have much more than you realize. And you can share with others. Now I'm not sure if it was Wildwood or not, but anyway. And next day it's 26. Would you tell me, please, which way I ought to go from here? Said Alice. That depends a good deal on where you want to get to, replied the Cheshire Cat. Obviously. What will be a good next step to take on my current path, or is there a better alternative path for me to go down? Here. And I got, again, Two of Stones, which is the Two of Pentacles. Here is Challenge. And the Nine of Cups. Again. So, obviously, Nine of Cups. Okay, let me read a little bit. Okay, so the feeling I got with these two is kind of fighting or defending your emotional needs, your emotional satisfaction, what you really need for yourself. Might be some challenges on the road. And also this card talks about fighting or defending, but from a stable and clear mind point of view. Like, not a nasty fighting. But you have to defend yourself a little bit, yeah. Defend what you dream of, defend what you feel it's important to you, what you really need emotionally in your life. Just keep focusing on what are your dreams, what do you feel you need, and if there's something on the way, maybe somebody doesn't like it or don't think it's good or whatever, just defend it. And let's go to the last one, because this is already a really long video. Day 27. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. The White Rabbit. And the question is, how can I manage my stress levels to help me feel more in control of my life? And I got Knight of Wands, the Pole Star, which is the star in the wildwood, and the tree Olive, but it fell upside down, reverse. So I will start with this one. In reverse, it is about don't be too hard on yourself. Actually, I'm gonna take the little book because it will be better. Let me see. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, here. Stop being so critical of yourself. Continually finding fault with your actions, appearance, or words is draining your energy. If you always do the very best that you can, you will have no reason to chastise yourself. So basically, don't torture yourself. Let's put it this way, because it's a beautiful illustration. Don't torture yourself. Don't keep searching for mistakes or things that you shouldn't have done or you haven't done. And these ones are pretty clear to me, which is follow your hopes, follow your dreams, follow whatever you want to achieve with all your passion and with all your energy. Don't focus on what you think you did wrong or what you may be afraid to do wrong. Just follow your star, follow your guide, which is inside of you. and don't let what I wrote down. It's um, don't let anything or anyone distract me from this. And this is all for part 4 of the challenge, and we only have another part, and I'm really gonna miss this when it's over. Just a few days left of the month, and yeah, thanks again to Sara. It's been great. I always say it, but yeah, I'm really gonna miss it. We said it. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or today. I think it was maybe today on the Facebook group, and I'm really gonna miss it. So thanks for coming, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.